How to upload your music to Repost by SoundCloud. You decided it's time to start sharing your music. You signed up for Repost by SoundCloud. Now it's time to distribute your music. So here we are on the main page. We'll just click distribution right here, and then we'll click create release in the top right. First up, we're going to upload files, and you can drag or drop or select them from your computer. So I'm just gonna take this one song right here, and we will let it upload. You can upload multiple files at the same time, but for this example, I'm just uploading a single file. Once that's done, we'll click done, and it'll see it uploading right here. Now that that's done, we're gonna get this little warning. It says one or more tracks are incomplete. Click edit to complete the info. And so we have to go in on each track and click edit. This is where we put all the information in. So the track title, you can have different versions of it. So if it's acoustic, clean, cover, extended, live, remix, you can put that here. And this is only used if you're uploading multiple versions of the same song, like if you have an acoustic version or a clean version or a remix version of the same song. Otherwise, just leave it blank. Enter your track title, enter your main contributor. This is the artist right here, main artist. And then you can have your composer. For this, you should have your full name, your first and last name. You could put your middle name as well. Basically, the composer credits is the songwriter. And so for publishing royalties and all that stuff, you will use this. It'll use the name that's on here. So like it says right here, first name and last name is required for this. And then if you have another contributor, you can just click this add contributor thing, and we can add in Jimmy G. And they could be the featured artist. And maybe there's another contributor. Maybe it's Laura. I'm just putting in random names. Maybe they're the producer. And maybe we have another. Maybe we have Evan J is the studio musician. So yeah, you can have all of these people on here. You can actually have multiple people as the featured artists, and whoever you have as the featured artist, it's going to show in Spotify under your name. You're going to see your main artist name and then all the featured artists. And I'm sure you've seen this in Spotify where it's like main artist and then all these other artists who are the featured artists. So once you have that all filled out, it's going to say, do you have an ISRC for this track? And unless you go and purchase a bulk order of ISRCs, you're not going to have them. So just say no, and they will automatically generate and give you free ISRCs, which is really cool. You have to select the content rating, either not explicit, explicit, or clean. Now you'd only use clean if you already released an explicit version and now you're releasing a clean version. Otherwise, if it's actually clean, like there's no explicit language, it doesn't need to be labeled as that, just put not explicit. That's what you need to put. And then you have to put an audio language on here. Now, once I made an instrumental and I didn't put anything on this, I didn't fill it out, and Repost got back to me and said, hey, if it's an instrumental, you have to actually go in and select none instrumental. Otherwise, they can't release it. So you put your language. If there's no lyrics, then put none. And then you have the preview start time. And this is for TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms. This is where the music will start. So go in and find exactly where you want it to start and select that. Then you have, if this track requires additional licenses, this would be cover licenses, this would be licensed for an exclusive beat or sample clearance, things like that. You can upload the documentation here and just drop the files in. And then at the bottom, the songwriter, if you wrote the song or you represent the writers, you just check that. And then you mark if it's a remix or not. If someone else wrote the song, you say another artist wrote it, and you say if it's a cover or a remix. Also, if someone else did write the song, like you co-wrote the song with someone, you can go up to the contributors and enter in a lyricist, or you could enter in a writer up here. So the only time that you'd use another artist, you'd check another artist, writer wrote the song, is if you're doing a cover or a remix. Otherwise, just say, I wrote the song, represent the writer. And then finally at the bottom, you can check to enable this track for YouTube Content ID, and there's all the limitations that go along with that. I normally don't do this because I want my music to just be used freely by everyone. And that's all. Click save and close, and that track is done. So now we'll click next and we'll go to details. Here we can upload the album art. So let's just find something. Yeah, this is the art I used for my last album. We'll let that upload. Once it's uploaded, you can make sure it looks good. And the art does have to be 3000 by 3000 pixels and 300 dpi. JPEG or PNG type, the image type only. I've noticed JPEGs seem to upload better, but you can probably get PNGs to work. So for a single, the album title is the name of the single, so you can't change that. But if this was an EP or an album, this is where you put in the album title. And then you can see the main artist. So this will show you as the main contributor, and then also your featured artists on here. You can select genre. They don't have a ton of genres, but if we go to like electronic, they give you some subgenres, but there's way more genres than that. So just put something that's close to your genre. I don't think it matters that much actually, because what matters more is like the playlist that your music is put into in Spotify. That'll kind of help the algorithm find what genre you are based on artists that are similar or other artists that are in those playlists. So genre on here doesn't matter that much. Down here, you can put the record label, and the default is just use the artist name, or if you have a record label, you know, like Burger Records, which is actually, it's a real record label. You can put that down here. And then the release date. You can put today as the release date, but it won't show up in stores for a lot later. But I think it'll show the release date as whatever day you put here. So if you want to say that it was released on a certain day, but not actually be released on that day, you can do that. Most of the time I'll do a release a week or two in advance, and normally it actually gets uploaded in that time frame. They say that they recommend more than 40 days, and that gives them time to for sure review it and get approved and get into all the stores, and also gives you time to do like promotional playlist pitching and all that stuff. So more time the better, but if you only have a week or two, that's okay. Repost is really good about actually getting it up very quickly. And then you can also do a re-release and add the original release date here. We'll click next. Here we have partners, and by default, they are all selected. Some of these are curated platforms like Pretzel. Pandora Plus just says that there's no guarantee your music will be released on the radio app. But they will submit it to it and has a chance of being released. And also Pretzel they have a thing where you have to clear your composition rights. Twitch's platform is curated, but they have all the big ones, you know, Amazon Music, Tidal, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Music, TikTok, YouTube. They have all the important ones on here. So it's cool because it shows you a little flag of where some of these are. So like this is like a Chinese one. This is like an Indian one. So that's kind of cool. So we'll click next. And then we have profile mapping. So this is where you're going to link your Spotify, Apple Music, and Twitch profiles to your music. So you just go in there, click on this, and you can select your artist name. If this is your first time releasing on Spotify and Apple Music and all these places, they'll have a thing that you can select that says create new profile. And this is where it'll make your profile for Apple Music and Spotify. And then once your music is released, you can claim that profile for Spotify for artists and for Apple Music for artists. You can access all those analytics and features and update your profile, update your bio, update your photo, all that stuff. And then we have split pay. Default is 100% the main artist. You can click add split pay, and you can add in other people. They all require a SoundCloud account to receive these payments. So if they don't have one, they'll have to make one. But once they have that, you just enter in their SoundCloud profile URL, and they'll get a link. They follow that link, and they can choose to accept the split pay. And then Repost handles the rest and evenly distributes the contributions to whatever percents you decided on. We'll go to next. And now we just review. So we'll just see the release name, the contributors, the label, the genre, secondary genre, release date, the album art, all the distributors. You can listen to the track here. We didn't set up any of the profile mapping, and so that's why it says it has errors. But if you had that all set up, you'd be good to go, and you just click submit, and that's it. You have your release done. So then you just wait a couple days, and you should get an email from Repost saying that your release was approved. And then from there, they will submit it to the stores, and it'll be another couple days or weeks until it's up and out there ready for people to listen to it. That is how you distribute your music on Repost by SoundCloud. It's super easy, it's super straightforward. So far, it's served me well, and I've been happy with distributing music on this platform. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this stuff. I know some of it can be confusing when you're first getting started, but I've been doing this for a little while now, and I've been releasing an album every single month this year. It's been kind of crazy, so I've just gotten very familiar with this process. So I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. I wish you the best in your musical journey, and create every day.